Hi, Dr. Steve Rossman here, and I have an important question for you. Although you may know what eating junk food might do for you or to you, do you know what it'll do to your children and your grandchildren? Well, I'm about to answer that question. But let's start where the story actually begins. Researchers at the University of Navarra in Spain followed 8,500 university graduates, so people who are educated, for about 9 years. And they found that those people who ate the most processed foods gained 26% more weight, had a higher body composition of fat than did the others. So simple conclusion, right? Junk food can promote fat, can promote obesity, can promote heart disease, stroke, diabetes. We know all of that. But here's a kicker for you. Research done at the National Institutes of Allergy and Infectious Disease in Maryland has found that those who eat processed foods, frankenfoods, invented foods with no nutritional value and often with nothing but chemicals inside, not even real food, so we call them frankenfoods. Those who ate those foods were more likely to have a variation in some of their genes that would actually affect their children's and their grandchildren's immune system, either diminishing the immune system and making it more likely that as they grow through life, they're more susceptible to infection, or increasing the activity of the immune system and making it more likely that as they went through life, they would be more susceptible to autoimmune diseases and to allergies. So what you eat, the processed food you eat, may not only affect your health, it will affect your children's health and grandchildren's health too. Now imagine as well that the junk food you eat not only has effect of increasing your body fat, increasing your risk of diabetes, but does the same in your children. We're beginning to find more and more incidents of children with elevated cholesterol, of children with high blood pressure, of children with diabetes or metabolic resistance or insulin resistance that may not need to be treated by insulin yet, but on the way. And here's more. We have found that there's actually interference with something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor when you eat processed foods or frankenfoods. Now this is because those foods generally contain things that are neurotoxic or excitotoxic to the brain or increase something called oxidative damage. Let's go and discuss all of these. Things that are neurotoxic or excitotoxic mean that they overstimulate brain cells called neurons and can overstimulate them to the point where they actually die. Neurotoxic means just that. It's toxic to your nervous system, can disrupt the connection between nerves as well as kill nerves themselves or change the way nerves connect to one another. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor that's reduced by processed foods, by junk foods, by sugar-laden foods, by these foods with these artificial colors, flavors, and sweeteners. That BDNF, when it's reduces the actual voltage. Your brain, remember, can be measured by EEGs. That's electronic magnetic fields. So anything that reduces the voltage in your brain cells and the voltage in your brain affects the way you think, affects the way you behave, affects the way you concentrate. But it also interferes with production of those chemical messengers that influence mood and behavior. It also interferes with your body's ability to try to create more connections. The more connections there are between nerve cells, the better the brain functions, the better it's able to get around problems, to circumvent a problem. As if there's an accident in the road here, you're detoured here, and you still come out on the road, but up here, you've been detoured. Without brain-derived neurotrophic factor, with reduced BDNF, due to eating those kinds of processed frankenfoods, fake foods, high sugar foods, high neurotoxic foods, the brain doesn't stand a chance. There's also called oxidative damage, which is a form of inflammation. Your brain literally rusts. If you've ever cut open an apple and exposed it to oxidation, the oxidation in the environment around you, you see how that apple literally rusts before your eyes. What is it? It's not water on cast iron railing outside your house that rusts it. It's the exposure to oxygen in those situations. So oxygen both gives us life and it causes a kind of rusting in our systems. So along with this, because of the oxidation, because of the inflammation, because of the reduction in brain-derived neurotrophic factors, because of these changes in the way the immune system works, we also find that those who eat processed food, according to a 2011 study that I have right here in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, showed that healthy people who ate junk food for just 5 days perform worse on cognitive tests, measuring attention, speed, and mood. Just 5 days. Imagine what 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years or more does to cognition, the ability to process information, memory. It damages parts of the brain called the hippocampus, which is responsible for certain kinds of memory, and the hypothalamus, which is a relay station in the brain. Very important. The brain's ability to run the body, the hormones and the metabolism of the body, in a large part comes through that hypothalamus, and it's damaged. The hippocampus, memory storage, damaged. Cognition, damaged. Imagine what it's doing to you. If you're an adult who's starting to find that cognition is slipping, that the ability to focus and concentrate is slipping, make quick decisions is slipping, do certain calculations is slipping, if you're concerned about where your mind is going, and you don't think it's just normal forgetfulness, you've got to pay attention to this. And if it's true for you, what about a brain that's developing? What about a brain that hasn't yet become fully wired? What do you think is going to happen to the construction there? If you interfere with the foundation and the basic construction of the skeleton of a building as it's being built, not afterwards, how long will that building stand? What will that building turn out to be? So in these cases, I've given you a number of reasons to avoid junk food, frankenfood, foods with artificial colors, flavors, sweeteners. Now, in another video, I'm going to talk about how it is that you can curb your cravings for these and swap certain foods for the junk foods so that you and your children have better brain health, greater vitality. You live a more optimal life. You've heard me say this before, but it is my mission. I do what I do so that you can be healthier, live healthier, thrive. So that's why I share this information with you, and whenever anything cutting edge comes across my desk, I share it with you. So whenever you're watching this, have a great day. Keep your brain healthy. This is Dr. Steve Rossman, your brain health doctor, wishing you a great day.